So the deeper argument as to why these protests exist and why the funding component is so contentious is that it is the students who met the criteria. They went to school, primary, middle, and then the later end of high school, secondary. They got through all of those phases, in spite of, at times, if they were at public schools that weren't that well funded, weren't that well resourced in infrastructure, textbooks, and educators. They got through there. In spite of that, they got the necessary marks, not only to pass matric, but to actually get university admission.
Yeah.
I think people also need to differentiate the two, university admission and the actual getting in. And now they get there, and the final hurdle is so far beyond what they themselves have gone through to actually get to the point where they're there at the university. They got the marks to get in. They didn't get in because of some DEI criteria.
Yeah.
They got the marks. That's why they're studying actuarial sciences or medicine. You needed the marks. But the funding is what's failing them. And on the part of the funding, it's unfair that the university is now holding them at ransom because NSFAS is struggling to pay, or rather is not paying, because they're like, I've come this far. I've done everything I've needed to do. The quarrel is not with me. It's with the NSFAS, the body. That's also similarly the institution's argument. But the institution themselves are directing that argument at the student rather than themselves taking the onus upon themselves to realize that the types of students they're actually pushing out of the system are the people that need it the most.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's a very complex thing to unpack, because people need to put themselves in the mindset of someone in that situation. They need to understand where that anger is ruminating from. It's ruminating from having come all of this way, having met all of this criteria, having competed with all of these people to get this one spot at WITS, UCT, Stellenbosch, NWU, wherever, at a public institution in South Africa. And government fails to pay. And rather the institution taking it up with government, because they're a public institution, they're taking it out on you. Yeah. They're locking you out. They're stopping you from registering. They're stopping you from getting accommodation. Your meal vouchers are not enough to get you food. Like, I think that frustration boils from there.